Where did I put my thing? Oh, okay. What up, what up? 1 second. Let me just bring up the stream on my laptop so I can check that everything's good. I got my cat all over me per usual. So I just want to go over something quick, kind of update on where we are in the challenge and what's going on. Okay. So basically, um, it's been a pretty, sorry, there's cat hair everywhere. It's been a pretty wild few days. Also, if you're wondering why there's another chair, it's, I can't see, but my cat's always crawling all over me, so I decided I'll make him a bed next to me in hopes that he doesn't hit a hotkey and, is all over the place and screws me up. But anyway, yes, it's been kind of crazy the last few days. Obviously Friday, so Thursday, sorry, 1 second. No, so Thursday, we had, there were some like it wasn't as widespread. It ended up Friday being the most widespread of the issues. But long story short, Thursday, Topstep platform had problems. We were like somewhere over here. I think this was Thursday, the 2nd and the 3rd. I think actually the 3rd was Thursday. Long story short, like the stuff that you'd seen in the stream before, where candle bars were freezing and stops were not being placed properly. I had a bunch of issues on Thursday and ended up getting just crushed with volatility. I spoke to Topstep about it. Luckily, they were cool after reviewing my trades, and thankfully, I had the stream from the day prior, like showing that the problem was happening to me between April 1st and the 3rd. Because April 4th is when that Friday is when they had a major widespread issue with candle freezing, and a lot of people, I think got hurt by it. So luckily, I had the stream and some other stuff to back up, that I was having difficulties with it on, a couple days prior. So long story short, they were really nice about it. They hooked me up with a reset for the account. And then, yeah, so then Friday we couldn't trade anyway because it was a 5% limit, like a 5% within 2% of the 7% rule. So, excuse me, so couldn't trade Friday. Then we had the weekend, and then we had yesterday to trade. So yesterday, real quick, I'll go over my trades. So yeah, breezing past. Basically, the challenge doesn't restart. We're essentially at the same spot after yesterday's trading, but yeah, there was a hiccup in just platform issues, and luckily, it was all resolved, and they were really, really cool about it. But anyway, going forward. So yesterday, well, actually, I'll start here instead. Friday, Thursday and Friday, we actually, let me go all the way here. So this area, this range of up close candles, and then, these couple down close candles is basically where I believe this puke should stop. That's why I'm pretty much neutral bullish right now. If you look at the monthly chart, so this is the yearly range, this 50%, we'll just say YEQ. This is the yearly range equilibrium point. So we dip down below into these 3 down close candles, monthly candles, okay? And from a daily perspective or a weekly perspective, this is the weekly impulse range, first impulse out of this flag pattern. This is the weekly EQ, okay? So from this swing low to the very first swing high, no rebalancing. So we have 50% of that level here, right? We opened up Sunday, gapped down and came into this level, dug into it, and immediate reaction out. So look, what I hate about this move in terms of like upside continuation is that it seems early. It all happens extremely fast. So that's a good thing, like in terms of finding a bottom, like, crash, whatever you want to call it, correction. I like the fact that it's quick, but I don't like the timing of it and how fast it was. So if this was mid-April and we had a candle like this, or say it was mid-April and we just started the whole descent of, like, say April 2nd, right? Say April 2nd was actually April 20th. and this all happened between that time frame, I'd be really confident that the monthly candle is going to, close down here, and then we'll start a new monthly candle, maybe one more stab, and then start to roll back up to highs. This monthly candle, this is April's monthly candle, just started. I don't know if it really closes within the top half of it. I don't see that happening. I don't know. That's that's the one thing I'm not crazy about is I'll just get rid of all this stuff. I feel like this candle should close within the lower quarter. So somewhere in here, okay? We have a lot of time. We have 22 days left in this candle. That's what I don't love about this setup in terms of the macro. I think we'll probably chop around this area for a little bit. Maybe we get a close down here in this lower third. Like I said, I don't like the example I tell everybody when I'm explaining it is I don't believe this monthly candle is going to look like this one, where we have this long tail, long wick to the bottom and close towards the open. I don't see that really happening. I think lower 50% highest, like highest around equilibrium of this range, and then more likely closing within the bottom third of the candle, somewhere within this gap, right? Or at least just above it. And then we have earnings in a couple weeks, we have other CPI, and like this week we have minutes this week, so there's stuff, but from a candle formation perspective, that's how I'm viewing it. And that's also why I took a certain trade yesterday. Let me hide the indicators. So, and you'll see I have the monthly fair value gap, marked out. Weekly open was within that monthly fair value gap. Weekly, we stabbed into it. That's just below here, but I'm really more concerned about the equilibrium point. Moved into the down close candles on the weekly chart nicely and having a nice reaction. So yeah, so I'm pretty bullish down here. I don't know how much further we go down. If we do, if I'm wrong, then I absolutely think worst case scenario is these lows and then into this impulse range that was never balanced. So if we measure 50% of this, I think we could definitely tread around here. Like worst case scenario, this is where we're headed. But I don't really believe that. I don't see that happening. I think we're probably going to stop out around here and then start to roll back over to the upside. So that's that. Obviously now we're just watching price. So as far as the lows, I'm not sure that they're in. I'm not sure that the low is in. I'm just positive, like I'm confident in my zone that we're playing within. I think we could definitely chop around here. Like we have time to play in this range until the monthly candle stops or closes. So that's my take. Yeah, like these lows here, I don't believe YM diverged at all. So let me go here. There we go. It's close. So YM barely took this low. So, look, could this be the low? Maybe. Could be. And we turn around and run away forever. It's definitely a possibility. It would make sense given all the places. Like I think, technically from a technical spot, I do like this area, and that's all I'll really say about it because it's difficult to pick the bottoms. So that's it. So yesterday, trading NQ, we took a long. Out of this hourly fair value gap. And we were out pretty quick because it was a 200-point range in seconds. So I was looking at the 15-second chart. If it'll let me go all the way back that way. Where am I? Okay. So just to recap, there was SMT, between ES and NQ at the time. Within this gap, basically, ES was not traveling into this gap, NQ did. Bought 3 at the bottom here, had one more shoved below. Now I'm looking at this as a breaker. I had one more at 80, which is right around here. Okay, and the other one, the first ads were at 713, so we took pretty decent drawdown. Um, Back up to 708, I shaved one off as it, kind of got relatively stuck at the midpoint. I was afraid that, maybe this thing's just going to continue to puke. I wasn't looking at YM at the time for the SMT, so I was just looking at ES and NQ, and at the time there was none. So we draw out the change in state of delivery. Um, you can see we respect that nicely. I took off another one at 23 and another one at 55. I mean, that's solid trade. Like that's, my usual, 13 to 55. What is that? Almost 40 points. So, or 40, what is it? It's 42. So 42 points to the upside. That's typically a great trade. So even though it happened in about, 45 seconds, that's just the volatility. I did hold on to one, got rid of it around here for over 100 points. It's like 150, I think. I tried to take it off for like 300, and I was like, okay. I saw all the low resistance highs and then the weekly open and then this set of highs. I just figured, what's the point of holding here and being essentially it becomes greed. It felt like greed in my eyes. It was 150 points on one trade. I didn't see the reason to hold it anymore, other than feeling like, wow, I got it super right. And what's crazy is like, yeah, I had the absolute bottom. But you can't really look at it that way, or else you'll drive yourself nuts. You'll end up taking a bunch of even stop outs trying to chase home runs all the time. So this was a home run. It's a 150 point trade. It just happened really quick. So had to get that out of your, got to get that stuff out of your head. And then, sorry, then I took one other trade. It was a short. Didn't feel right. It was lagging, and again, also it was just a lot of a lot of points really fast. We had SMT on these highs, not this high specifically, but this high on the higher time frame was SMT with ES. I remember it. If you don't believe me, you could check it out. Whatever. I waited, got up into the very premium, and I was like, at this point, I recognized how crazy volatility was. So I wanted to wait for the absolute best entry where I was willing to miss the move because I was already up like 400 bucks or whatever on the day. So there was really no point in risking much more. We got one more stab above. I take a short at 315, which is after I realized that we're rejecting. This could be the sweep, this liquidity sweep. And on a 1 minute, I'm not going to change because it's going to be difficult, to scroll back again. But got short at 15, which is right around here. And again, same sort of rationale. I was up 40 points or 50, whatever that is. Quick math, not the best. To 59. Yeah. So over 50 points, in a minute, I was out. There's no point in me holding anymore. It's good enough for me. And it was just lagging. Like I didn't, once we started to kind of get shoved in, again, ES looked a certain way, just didn't feel right holding anymore. So I got out and kind of finished the day there because I realized I was like, you know what, I don't want to be wrong in this type of volatility. I want to get smacked. I already made plenty for the account. So that is that. Let's get to today. Today, I'm just looking for ES to take that daily high. I'm not sure if NQ will. ES is obviously seems like it's reaching for it. And yeah, we're just going to watch. I'm going to try to be really patient today in my setups and look for things that make sense and, that are obvious. And that's it. Kind of just try to play defense because we're not really sure where we're at. We're kind of in limbo at the moment. So market's open. I'm going to get a drink of water. I'm going to get a water bottle. Sorry, I realized my mic was not on. This was the reversal point from yesterday too. So ESK or NQ came up, took these equal highs right into this impulse leg, and then immediately puked it down. These were equal highs on the 5-minute, and on the 15-minute, it actually looked like it had stabbed up into it. That was from, I think that was Friday, maybe Friday's action. Yeah. So 15 minutes stabbed up, but this was actually an equal 5. We came back up, made those smooth highs jagged, and rebalanced this little gap. So let's see where we're at. Yeah, stopping shy of that daily high. So this is interesting. Let's see where the market's at in general. I'm gonna look at rates as well. Okay, yields moving up. It's an interesting perspective. Means bonds are selling off. Initially, yields were dropping. Bonds were going higher, and initially that was like the running to safety, and now they kind of seem to be rolling over. I think yesterday yields were up as well, so especially at the long end. Now the short end is kind of leading. Yesterday the long end was leading. Let's see what's going on here on the 15-minute. You'll see I actually have YM as well in the bottom left corner, paying a little bit of attention there. All right, so you'll see that I marked out the 15-minute fair value gaps here. I actually I really don't want to. Let me switch this over to ES. Just so that way if I, by some rare chance, I want to take a trade on ES, it seems like it's at a better discount, and I feel like it's going to take this high because it never took this one. It's the weaker pair, so I expect it to take this high, and then Q maybe not take this one. That's the SMT inception stuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna check it out. Obviously, NQ looks super strong. Tapping into the 15-minute fair value gap and just doing nothing, or like not really going much further. Although I am suspect of these lows here, 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 here. I think YM might save the day with that. If we go back and look, because YM may take those lows. I wish I mean, look, it's hard enough to focus and talk at the same time and like do this streaming stuff, but I just feel like it would be a lot more interesting to watch if there were other people watching and it was a little bit more interactive, and somebody wasn't just watching the recording of me just sitting here. I mean, that's how it is. It's I'm not gonna. There's only how much more could I do? I can't. This is real. This is the real kind of reality of it. I'm not. It's not very entertaining. It's not very exciting unless you're taking a million trades, and I've done that, and I've gotten, obviously crushed. So most of the time, it's just a pretty sit and wait and watch, literally watch time pass by. All these candles are time, so you literally just sit and watch time pass. A little rejection there. So yeah, like I see, obviously, yes, having a reaction off of the 15-minute fair value gap there, the CE of that fair value gap. I see NQ also holding the top end of that fair value gap. Obviously, we're rejecting the bearish fair value gaps of the session. It's actually a little bit of SMT between this 1-minute high and this one for ES and NQ. I'm actually going to scroll to YM on my other laptop, see if it took that low out yet. It still hasn't. So at the moment, these lows here, no index has taken. My guess is that one of them is going to take it. Looks like it's going to be YM from the look of it. If I switch over, you'll see. It seems like YM's going to want to dig into here. And if that's the case, then I will be a little more apt to take a long trade to the upside. But for now, I'm just kind of willing to watch and chill. NQ strong. We're right around. This is VWAP too, so let me actually just make whatever. See, I hate how it does that. You always have to like scroll out for it to like fix itself. It loads the data and then it becomes different. That's pretty annoying. I wish that was different. So instead, let's go back to ES. Let's look at the VWAP on the trading view chart. It is indeed at like 5,202, 5202.75. So that's like true VWAP, even though I don't really use it a whole lot. Just wanted to see where it was in reference. YM still yet to take that high or that low. ES is still using the CE. I could be wrong about downside first, then upside. It might be upside, then down, which is fine too. In that case, do we take the trade on YM? Is that, like, are we actually going to trade that thing? I'm just not going to really chase anything to the upside yet. I'll let it take that high and it'll be what it'll be. It's a bit of a drop. NQ now got rid of the SMT with ES and these little 1 minute highs. ES tapping to the 15-minute fair value gap high and then just kind of repelling away. See if it inverts this 1 minute gap for a launch to the upside. Yeah, I'll try one there. So I'm long MES off of, this inversion. I have it on the back side here. I don't believe there's any news at 9:45. I think it's a pretty newsless day. I'm going to double check that. It seems like data is coming out like super weird and choppy now. I don't know why. Yeah, 12 o'clock is EIA short-term energy outlook. So we're long off of the 15-minute fair value gap reaction, inverting the 1 minute here. NQ invalidating the SMT between these 1 minute highs. So then the draw is therefore upwards. And then we're looked at, oh, I made the text, that's fine. And I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Now we have SMT on the 1 minute highs. I'm going to move my stop to even just in case. If it comes down and reaches into the order block, that is what it is, and I'm going to get stopped out. But I just don't want to mess around here. There's really no point. If I had 2-1, I would partial one here at the SMT just to get something out because I do see it coming down and stopping us out at even. Originally, the stop is right like below this low. But for the sake of not getting the crap chopped out of us, we're going to keep the stop at even, and if it doesn't work our way, it doesn't work our way. Let me see what the stop would look like down here. 18. It's not crazy risk, it's just, why take the loss risk? So we'll put it there, we'll put it at even. Actually, we'll give ourselves a couple bucks just that way it's not, if we get slipped, it's not, bother me if it's red. So yeah, 15-minute fair value gap, NQ showing strength all the way. YM never took that low, so we're just kind of assuming that YM's not taking that low right now, and it'll most likely just take it later. We're now kind of convinced that it's maybe upside then downside. This is problematic now though, NQ being the stronger pair and ES now lagging. So there we are, we're stopped at even. So you'll wonder why I didn't take NQ. I didn't take NQ because it was ES was a better discount. And like I said, I think ES is the one that takes the daily high and maybe NQ doesn't, you know. So that's why NQ, I mean ES went to a deeper discount. So we would have been stopped out at our original stop. So I'm glad I took the even stop there. It was a solid little trade. I mean, I wish it worked out. Oh, there's no way that was 14 points. Actually, it probably was. Oh, right. I'm like, what am I looking at? 524, 5254. Yeah, that's not bad. I never trade ES, so anything over like 10 points is solid. I'll take it. So yeah, about 13 points at the high. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Even, but that's okay. So 1 minute inversion, had one more stab into this fair value gap and then took off. I was kind of sold for upside from there, and this was the original stop. If I was like really chasey, I'd take another long there, but I'm not going to be. I'm just going to let this SMT play out and see what it is. But if I was like I said, I am pretty confident that this is the draw, for the morning, this high. It's just I don't see the point in chasing after it aggressively right now. I'm going to switch back to YM on my other chart. So YM's kind of coming back down. I don't know, it could just chop and hurt everyone. But I think the draw is simple. What's up, though? I think the draw is up here. We're just kind of playing defense because of nobody taking these 15-minute low resistance lows. And in between this high and these lows, it's 50-50. Reality. Reality is that it's 50-50 in between these lows and this high for everybody. So if I go to YM, if I switch to YM, it's the same deal. I mean, YM took it, but yeah, I think if anybody sweeps below here, and then maybe we play a little bit of catch up. I don't know, just trying to build some narrative. Okay, well. See if it rejects here. Would be an interesting short up in this gap, but like I said, it's still a little too 50-50 for me from, the daily highs and whatnot. And it seems like such a low risk opportunity. Like if you really believed in this gap, you would take this short up here because you're in a way premium in relation to it. And your stop is always up here anyway. So it seems like, oh wow, like this is a great low risk short. But even if you get it's still, that's a 27-point range, which is, look, I mean, you're trading a micro, it's a little more than $50, but I mean, damn, like you would expect a little range like that, that type of entry would be around 8-point stop. Typically under other volatility conditions, that is what it is. It's around an 8-point stop. So there goes ES. We're taking off. We'll probably take that high, that daily high. It's a shame it wasn't as clean. If it was super clean PA, it would, or if there was no SMT, I guess, we would have just taken off from here. Use this as an invert, run right on up to the buy side there. And you could even see how we dipped like far further. Like, you know what I mean? This is not very clean price action. You would My next expectation, basically what I was saying, if I wanted to be chasey, is because I was looking at then this gap, okay, very small, but on the 1 minute, this gap. All right, let's draw that out. If we were to hold here, right, if this leg held, okay, and this was just a little break or stop run, that's a valid long as well to chase it higher. But you can see we then printed another candle way outside this realm. So again, not very clean. You could look at these three down closes, change in state of delivery on 1 minute. And if we measure half of their body, it was kind of the same sort of idea. You could see that we were just about halfway in this gap as well after the change in state. So it would have been a great long to re-enter, but it was floppy. So, and what kept me out of that isn't the fact that I knew that this was going to happen. I didn't. Had actually, in fact, if YM had taken those lows down here and it presented me this, I would 100% chase it back. But we didn't, so that kept me defensive, and I'm glad because look at these, it almost looks like it's painting the picture of here's the change in state, right? From this open to the right, drag that open to the right. We reclaimed the bearish fair value gap after creating SMT on the highs. And look how we're rejecting, and then we close below strong here. This would be a short, but that's just kind of going off the pattern action. In the narrative of like what lows are taken and what haven't been is what kept us safe in this trade, or safe out of it. Because this could easily be like, oh, it's long, oh, it's short, get swept out again, then you're chasing the long. So just picking and choosing our shots here. Just wanted to fix that. So now you have this as a breaker of close candle, fair value gap, unicorn setup. But still, NQ taking eyes. It's a $50 stop if we longed it here. It's about 1-to-1. I was backwards, but obviously I'm looking at the long side here. I'm not going to take anything that. Actually, instead, sorry, buddy, I'm going to run to the bathroom. I'm going to take this time to run to the bathroom. I think we may chop around. Come on, dude. I'm sorry. Come on, go over here. All right, whatever. So yeah, in the event that we're chopping around, I'm just going to take this opportunity to use the bathroom real quick, and then I'll be back. And I need to turn off my hotkeys so that way a cat doesn't step on my stuff and completely screw me. All right, we are back. NQ and ES have taken the high. So now I guess we'll wait. This must have been, this is a nice little long opportunity. Didn't take. That's okay. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. I was looking at NQ in my other chart and I was like, did it take that daily high? Not yet, but it seems like it wants to. So we'll see if it does. It's getting pretty close. 1836. Yeah, just about the same. I am going to make another high as well. I put my hotkeys back on now that I'm safe from the cats. I was going to say I like the NQ short because again, it's like the whole stronger, weaker, weaker, stronger play, and I was hoping to get it up in here for a small retracement back in just because these ranges are pretty big and I wanted to take it with some more size. So let's see. That's actually pretty tolerable. Yeah. So yeah, I just started to see NQ get a little weak up here before it took the daily high. ES and YM have taken the daily high, so it's appropriate for us to turn around. Maybe now we start to aim for these lows that nobody took from the morning. NQ never visited the discount of the 15-minute fair value gap range either, so we may want to play NQ short here. Oh, that's our shot. And when on the change in state delivery there, and the SMT between the daily high and whatnot. Position just below the equilibrium, which I don't love, but would like to have something a little bit better. SMT on these lows between ES and NQ. I don't know why the platform's so laggy. Price is so laggy. Like it feels so like goopy. Like it's not as fluid. Something's wrong with the data feed, or so there's definitely a lot of volume or something is not right. Like it just feels like it wants to gap, you know. Anyway, let's put the stop up here. They're gonna get stopped. All right. That's okay. I'm happy with that short. I'm happy with trying that short, that is. Seems like NQ's definitely going to go run up to take that daily high now. See if it wants to use this as a breaker. See if it inverts the order block. Wow. I'm going to take one more there. Still getting super weird with the laggy data. Come on, man. Cut me a break. See if we can get 10 a.m. continuation to the upside. I think if NQ was going to leave this alone, then, or leave this high alone, it probably wouldn't have invalidated this down close candle or this up close. Something's definitely up with the data feed. It's definitely super slow and just groggy. Groggy is the right word. Very groggy data feed right now. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi. I don't think it is. This is usually plenty fast. Just choppy mess. No real respect for any PD arrays, bullish or not, bullish or bearish. Ugh, hate the equal low there. Oh, see if it holds this balance range. Oh, inversion. Balanced inversion, really. Up, down. Really shouldn't go much lower. Although we have these equals here that are nasty. And if we're going to chop around, it's probably going to come take those. I don't want to see it dip back down below here. I'd really rather it take off. I'm going to take one. It's for a loss too, so we'll just stay here. Slight loss on the original entry. I mean, we're okay if we stay long here. I'm just skeeved out by this. Yeah, just very laggy, laggy, laggy. That's a good push up. Shoved right back down. Oh, come on. I hate when this happens. I don't know how to fix it. Okay, we're chilling. We're back. Oh, I hate when that like the layout happened. Like, 'cause I really don't mess with it at all, and I don't really know how to fix it. Besides, obviously, I just did, but oh, yes, and that could be ugly if I hit an ad there. Yeah, let's take another one here, and we're just move the stop to even. I want to be able to have something up here, to take off, and if I get stopped out, I get stopped out. It's okay. Yucky. Just chop zone of death. Let's see it up from there. Just watching as ES is gaining some speed. YM as well. Seeing if NQ wants to play catch up to these highs. I am going to take one off if I can. Look here. Yeah. Take one off there. See if we can hold out for something else. Actually, I hate these. These lows are pretty gross as well. Move the stop to even on the ad. Good push up there. Don't really want to see it come all the way back down just to go higher. Of course, going to take my stop, run into this gap, and then go back up. That's fine. I'm not going to buy it immediately because I don't like any of the lows that were formed down here. And if it wants to be a real pain, it could just tough market for follow through. So looking at the 4 hour, it seems like we want to continue higher. I think ES may shoot for this gap. Didn't want to get caught here, like moving my stop below these lows, getting stopped out for more. But you can see we're playing off that gap now. I've chased these moves before too, where I've like gotten long, like trying to chase this little move to the upside and just getting absolutely crushed. Like you can see how it's kind of starting to melt down there. it may seek some sort of a discount before resuming, or it may not. But that's nothing that I'm going to chase. I tried to get, I wanted a little bit more, so I added up for the move, and it's just unfortunately it's just not giving me any sort of follow through on the runner. So I'm not upset that I added. It just didn't go my way this time. A little breathe right, not the breathe right, excuse me, false advertisement. It's an intake breathing strip. Catching my breath. Got the cat up on me now. It's cold again. Got warm for a few days, and now it's like freezing again. I wonder if we're playing poker, and I gotta text my buddy. What's up, dude? Come on. Why don't you sit on the nice bed I made for you over here? Yep, using that gap. Running on up. Big spike back down. Yuck. 30-second volume imbalance. I mean, that's painful. A little 1 minute SMT, but I don't know, it'd be crazy if they just held it here. That would be nuts. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. Very tempted to short here. It's not an obvious short, so that's why I'm trying to hold back. The only thing obvious about it is the SMT on the 1 minute. That's the only thing obvious, quote unquote. But it's not so obvious from the perspective of like, are they really going to take it that close to the daily high and then shove it? It does also make sense with the SMT inception. Weak pair, strong pair, strong pair, weak pair. Then we have these equal lows as a low-hanging fruit target of 50 points away. I don't know, that could have been it. But it's not brain dead obvious. Change in state, change in state. I do like these lows. Risk is just a little heavy if I'm taking a short down here. Not quite a full touch of this wick, so it's not like I have a wick retest there. There you go. I'm gonna take one. I like it down there. I'm watching this 30-second gap this high. I don't like that. I don't like how it's acting there. Getting ready to close this one out. I want to give it a chance just to sweep this high and then reverse, but just into this little 15-second gap. I'll take one there. I'm adding into that after it swept up into this block and then still held with the body in this gap. If it starts to take off, I gotta dip out of it. Yeah, I'm wrong. Back up to the highs. That's annoying. Should have trusted myself with the. I mean, it's okay. I'm okay with taking the setup. It's just I feel like my gut knew better than to take it. Although this was really convincing, I gotta say. Oof. Should have quickly bought that. This is like very tilting action. That's why I took away my entry. I was like I like 3 drives up into like just towards the high. Nasty. Nasty dirty work. I will try one there though and see if we could like hold these lows off the SMT with yes. Oh no, it's just gonna drive down. I can't believe that. Can't believe you've done this. Gross. Am I really about to get rinsed right here? That's crazy if that's the case. I was thinking maybe it's gonna like fake out low, high. That's insane if that's how it wants to act. Yeah, give me another. Get out of here, come on. I'm gonna add into that. I'm assuming we're going for these lows here. So I'm just, this is like value add for me. Add another one. So I want to see some sort of acceleration below these lows. I'm gonna move the stop to even. Oh, still broken. Top step, please fix. And give me that. Yes, please. Thank you. Taking one off. Taking another one off. Because it's just playing around these lows, which is annoying. I wonder if it just completely. Oh. So yeah, didn't move into these lows is very quick. Still laggy too, laggy with the feed. All right, now I'm like not touching this. We might have to switch to we might have to switch to poker or something. Oh, my friends are chirping me in our group text because we're playing poker tonight, and they want my head. They're putting a bounty on my head, which I don't appreciate. I gotta look for a good meme to send. My brain is screaming short, but it's a bad idea. It's like it's just to go from like here to here. Not good. Not worth. Not worth unless this is the high, unless this is like the top and we're gonna reverse. Which we could. Like I also like would be surprised but not surprised because technically it makes sense. Like you know what I mean? Like SMT, SMT, SMT. Like okay. Stronger pair, weaker pair. Lower time frames. Weaker pair, stronger pair. Within staying the weaker pair. So that makes sense from a technical standpoint. But like, why run it within ticks of the daily high, okay, to then just crush it back down? That one I don't. That one does not compute a whole bunch. I guess I probably would have taken it like around up here, but is it a little late for that now? Should we run a speed test? I don't want to like dox my location then. Maybe I'll run it on my laptop. Because somebody, right? No, my Wi-Fi is plenty fast. Downloads 380 megabytes per second. Upload is 180. Yeah, I don't. My Wi-Fi should be fine. I think it's just whoever whoever the data provider is for X is just lacking, man. They lack it. which is super lame. All right, I gotta pee again. I'll be back. Sorry. And we back. We back, we back, we back. Was that a short, you ask? Probably, actually. It probably is. NQ's close to 5% on the day anyway, so I'm gonna take one there. I just feel like it's playing so many games. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Shit. I just feel like we're playing so many games up like in this range, and these equal lows are so enticing. It could want to stab up and then go lower, but I'm willing to play with that. I'll add another one actually. I'll put my stop above here. Oh, that's a big stop. I don't really like that anymore. I'd rather have it above here. Just this candle doesn't really need to go much higher than that. Let's see if we can put a limit by. Come on, puke. Stop playing with me. Quit playing around. Why are we playing these games? Why are we doing that? Just die. All right, cool. Cool, cool. No, 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 it's fine. Cool, totally fine. Go ahead, go take the high. Totally good. I'm fine. I'm good. This sucks. Totally fine, totally fine. 15 second? Yeah, no, for sure. Take my stop. Thanks. Super cool. Love it. Love trading. Trading is sick. Everybody should learn how. Makes so much cash. Uh, in other words, check this out. This is my brand. It's Avanti. You guys should check it out. Link is in the description. Super cool gym wear. So yeah, check that out. I think you'll like it. Can't really see it. I'll actually stand up. Boom. But yeah, go to the website. It's avnti.co, and that is in the description. Shameless plug there after we get rinsed. Do I relentlessly try to short again? It's making me want to. You know what? Fine. Fine. Give me an opportunity and I'll take it. I'm just watching this balance price range here, and that's probably what's going to screw me again. I just feel like the ES is weak. These lows are so enticing. We never took this one, which is, you know, oh my God, it's just going to run me over. Whatever, I'm not going to add because of that. 10:45 maybe. It's holding it. I gotta get out. And now it's gonna drop. Fine. Fine, fine. Oh my God, that's gross. Add one more because I like the volume imbalance out of the. I like the volume imbalance out of the balance price range gap. Okay, so we did everything in our power to close back in it. Then we volume imbalanced out. I like that. So I added one into that to try to get my average a little bit better. Again, with the laggy data, it's crushing me, dude. Take one more for the the spiral down. Please just roll over already. Thank you. I mean, this is like absolutely crazy town. Yes, approaching that low. I swear. Wow, this is absolutely disgusting work here. I gotta get out. Oh my God. Top step with the even. Please fix your even. Break even stop. Oh my God, it's so frustrating. Went to move my stop break even. It moved it lower, like towards my first entry. And now I'm stopped out before the move. Oh man, please fix that. Wow, that's so frustrating. This is what I got crushed on with April or April 3rd. That type of action, trying to move my stop, even getting stopped out. Like on where my position wasn't even at. And that was when I was adding into position. So instead of going even, the candle would spike up and rip my position out for a loss instead of even. That's so gross. Dude, gotta fix that. Come on. I'm gonna just rewind the stream here for a second because I know I shouldn't have been stopped there. Where's my average? 78.25. Boom. Yep. All right, let's look here. Never comes and touches it. Never comes and touches the average of 78.25. Oh man, that's so frustrating. That is so frustrating. Gotta be kidding me. Now I have to send this to support. I mean, I don't think they're gonna be able to do anything for me. Um, but I mean, that's just annoying, man. That's super frustrating. And I mentioned it in my last ticket. I wish that they would fix it. Yeah, it's annoying. Super, super annoying. Really frustrating. Painful, man. Painful. Okay, and a 15-minute fair value gap now. Let's see how we want to play around. If we want to play around. I think I might step on the gas to the downside. It's a little late, but the premise was rejecting off the midpoint here. I don't really. I think maybe NQ wants to dip into this down close or deeper into this 15-minute old fair value gap. Maybe somebody wants to come take these lows that we never took here. So I might try to get aggressive. Taking a short there at the bottom end of the 15-minute fair value gap. Just a bad spot to get it in, I guess. I was just hoping for continuation to the downside into these wickless candles at 9:52. 1 minute's holding this perfectly though, so it's a little frustrating. I was really counting on this range of balance to hold us down. Came back up here rejecting. Let's see if we want to continue to move lower. I'm going to head to the 1 minute real quick and just mark out some stuff. Yeah. Adding. Adding there for the same idea. I like all these lows. Just want to see it start to melt down. ES is moving lower. A lot of weakness out of ES. NQ is still holding on. Mm, just not getting the follow through I'm looking for. Moved into this little volume imbalance. This is my last shot for it to start moving down for me. As we came into this volume imbalance, tapped in and immediately rejected. ES taking lows, NQ still refusing. I just want NQ to really fall out of bed here. Really start to accelerate to the downside. A lot of hesitation. Really want the speed. Covered some. I guess that's at even because my P&L did not move much. Yeah, it's gross. Oh, there goes that stop again. That break even stop. Killing me, guys. Yeah. Just no follow through. I guess the next couple trades, if I take them, are going to be a little bit more get in and get out. Yep, I'll take it there. Let's get in for a flush. Add 6. Or add 3 more for 6 to just add into the flush here. If we can get it. Come on. No, it's giving me a hard time. Want it to move now, aggressive. No, taking it off. Just not. I mean, obviously, you could be like, oh, you're not giving it enough time to breathe, but I hate this high. I'm not crazy about the action within the 15-minute gap. I mean, everything's just moving. I don't want to get whiplashed around, whipsawed. And at this point, I'm just going to scout my way. Yes, back into the old 15-minute gap. YM. Now moving towards those lows. We'll just mark that out here. YM is actually probably a solid trade to the downside. It's just nowhere to really get in. It's just cascading. Wickless candle touch. why I'm going to take those lows here. Super frustrating. Yes, rejecting off the 15-minute original. Let's look at this low here. Let's look at this candle. Yes, it's also coming into VWAP. If we look on the trading view charts, or it's not on here, but it's on the other one. Coming into VWAP. Rate's pretty much flat. Okay, there goes the low. 15-minute low on ES. And we're rallying off of that. As YM also took that set of lows. Getting stuffed out here, which I don't love. I'm gonna sample one there. Why not? I don't hate the move off of that low. And if we're looking at ES, I like how we took here. Well, there's very low resistance there. This just could be a means to a retracement. But I like how ES took this low, this 15-minute low, and NQ did not. And then we put in the little change in state right here. Right, so that's why we got long. Let's add into the move. Move our stop up a little bit accordingly. Try to get one off up in this gap, I guess. Watching that area on both ES and NQ. Yep. Take one off there. Move the stop up. I actually didn't realize how poor that ad was, that original ad was. So I'm just going to get out of it because we're going to get stopped even anyway. I didn't realize how high up I added, or I must have gotten slipped a little bit due to market order. That was kind of gross. Nice move up off of it. Let's look at the 1 minute. Okay. Propulsion block off the 30-second, which I like. It's a nice reaction off of it. So what I'm defending against right now is the thought that we may start moving lower for the week into this daily opening gap. Like um, that's kind of what I'm defending right now. Is narrative of like being a little unsure on what direction we're really headed for. Like I said before, I think it's suspect that we came this close to the daily high. I would have much rather have seen us turn around here. If we were gonna like, if this was gonna be a real move lower, it would be a lot cleaner if this was the order block that changed everything and we started to roll over. The fact that we got so close to the daily high is a little suspect to me. Makes me feel like we're gonna want to run up and take it like it's faux resistance. So. Hands are freezing. Because they're constantly like above my they're not super relaxed on the table. I wonder if ES wants to invert this gap. It may. The way it's acting, it really does seem like it. Yeah. Yep. Taking one there. Stop above that high. I feel like ES may want to invert the gap. If not, I mean, we have a nice move lower on NQ. See if it holds. YM accelerating below those lows on the 15-minute chart that we were talking about. Unmitigated. It's starting to speed up a little bit, so that's kind of good for us. For a short scenario, ES just looked fishy in this 15-minute gap up towards the high. Weakness on NQ. Let's move the stop now to even. Solid, solid push down. I want to see it continue though. I don't like how it's kind of finding some legs under there. I feel like it may want to come down and dig a little bit deeper into the 15-minute gap. Our stop seems relatively safe, if we're looking at the original 15-second there. Hate the equal highs. It's a reaction out of there that I don't love to see. That quick push up there. I'm gonna try to short more. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Very happy with that move. I peel some there. Stop to even. Look, see that top step? Look, I move it here, and if I hit auto break even, come on, let's fix this. All right, let's hold for NQ to get back into that gap. YM remaining heavy. ES may want to be the one that kind of comes up into here as well. Actually, yeah, let's watch there. I don't want to see ES hold the very bottom portion of this 15-minute gap, because then this just could have been a deeper run uh, into the lows, and NQ is actually going to hold this low. Okay, so on the 1 minute, good that we closed out of there. You'd want to see it continue lower now after disrespecting on the aligned time frame there, and see how it was using it as resistance. That's a good sign for our short here on NQ. Come on. Now on the 1 minute, use it as resistance on the bottom end. I don't want it to just be like kind of that it painted below and now it's going to make a solid run above. Let's not play these games. Let's not play these games. Let's just see a clean sweep down to the downside. Let's see if our stop is safe. Making it really hard to catch follow through on these trades. Would like it to be now. Don't want to see ES reclaim the bottom end of that. I want to see it just completely fall out of bed here. We're going to move our stop above this high because there's no point in it giving it any more room than that. So the 1 minute closed back inside, albeit the lower quarter, you know, below that lower quarter. And the rejection off that is actually really nice. That's really pretty. Let's see it just continue to dip. Next thing's next, you know, obviously you'd want NQ to disrespect this gap. The fear for me at the moment is that we use this gap and this change in state to make a run higher above this high just to puke lower, and in that case, I'm out of the move. I don't think it should do that just because of the way ES is acting within the 15-minute gap and that lower quadrant. Dow's also just continuously puking it lower. So I'm okay kind of holding on to this one for now. I want ES to accelerate down off of the reaction of this 15-minute gap here. Come on. Needs to use this as an invert now. Just trying to stay patient with it. Yes. Love that. Love that move. Let's go. Come on. Finally, man, we have a little bit of follow through in our ideas. Trades are working out. It's about time. What a battle it's been today. This whole challenge has been a damn battle. We're going to take that off. No point in holding that one anymore. I mean, we hit the target. I was looking for this low and a dig into the fair value gap slightly deeper. We might actually really accelerate to the downside to take these lows. I don't want to give up the 50 points to find out, to get stopped at even, possibly. So I'm happy with being done there. You know, really frustrating. I'll have to talk to Topstep about it. I'm still like pretty upset about this trade all the way up here, how I was stopped premature because the stops, you know, are slightly faulty. This was kind of our get back trade. It was worth at least $200 of missed P&L because of that. So that's frustrating. I'll have to just send. I mean, they're usually really cool about everything. Yeah, we're starting to accelerate to the downside. They're usually really cool about everything. They fix it. Like obviously, if you're not jerking them around, you know what I mean, and you're being real with them and being honest, and you have the proof to back it up, they're usually really cool. They'll fix it. So I'm definitely gonna. I don't expect them to give me money for this trade. Um, I don't expect them to give me 200 bucks at P&L. Would be great. Um, but if they do, I'll let you know. I'll ask because there's no harm in asking. But I'd just really rather them fix it because with my trading, the very quick moves like working on the 15-second chart, that auto break even button is super important to me, and it has to get it right. Like you know what I mean? Like I have, it's a split-second decision. Obviously, there's a bit of luck involved up here, in that trade. But regardless, it is what it is. It doesn't mean I should be penalized for it. So yeah, I just hope that they fix that soon because that's frustrating, and especially if I'm on my phone, which I don't trade on my phone very often. But if I were to, I would like to know that if I hit the button and I'm not looking at the chart because I rarely ever have the charts open on this thing. I'm just looking at the DOM and then maybe a chart on my computer or whatever. If I hit the auto break even, I just expect it to take me out break even, you know, not plus 20, not minus 50, break even. So whatever. We'll chalk the stream on that note. It's a solid day of trading. Difficult to get involved in the down move, just defending against this high being a fake high, which I think it is. Um, I also, though, at the same time, like I don't know if these lows that we made on Sunday night are necessarily safe lows. Bonds kind of retreating, people buying bonds again. Yields are going down again. So bonds being bought. Again, I don't know how safe these lows are. I don't know if these are the lows, but how I'm looking at this is that these are the lows in the zone. Let's put it that way. It's the zone. I don't think we take this low out. I think this low probably holds. Hmm, at least for one of us. Maybe NASDAQ does dip a little bit deeper into here. But I think we're in the zone. I think we're around the area where we are safe to start searching for longs. And obviously, the market is finding value down here. People wanted to buy that another 5% down on Sunday. So, like I said, I don't know if these lows hold. It makes sense for us to chop around this range for a couple weeks, I think, until this monthly candle kind of closes in the bottom third, somewhere around here. Probably closes around here. And then we'll see. But obviously there are some macroeconomic factors that could just make us totally V-shape recover and rip. But I have some thoughts about that as well. So 1 hour. So here's something to look at. So that, the daily time frame and the 1 hour time frame are aligned. That's what you look at. So we have 1 hour, or excuse me, daily high taken. That's this. Then we look at the 1 hour for a reaction. Now you'd have a 1 hour change in state of delivery here. It could be a Tuesday high of the week profile. So yeah, if we close an hourly candle below here, I would definitely look for this high to hold, be protected. It's a little suspect just because of NQ made pretty much equal highs with the daily chart, but definitely something to check out and look at. So we are just melting down now. Obviously, I was scarred from the price action all morning, which is why I did not hold that trade. I actually dipped out as soon as we pretty much took this low, and I'm okay with that. Had a bunch of break evens or like slight loss because that button's broken, or a slight gain because that button's broken. It's been hard to get follow through with this market. Obviously, the one day I had tons of follow through, which was yesterday in that hourly gap, wherever it is right here. Literally had 80. Like my buy was literally 80.25 or something like that. And what's the low? 78, 72, not even 75. So that was kind of gross, but it is what it is. It's a grind. I hope this one was insightful. I hope you enjoy the price calling and my thought process of why I'm taking some trades and why I'm not taking others. Obviously, it changes here and there. Like I'll see a micro, like I call them low time frame cues. So like on the 15-second or 30-second chart, like I may see something that I really like, and then I get short off that or I get long. Um, so yeah, so I hope it's helpful. That should explain why sometimes I see things and I'll say one thing maybe a minute, and then a minute will pass, and I'll do the opposite just because something changed, and I'm trying to be flexible. So that's that. We'll lock out for the day. Uh, I'm not trading anymore. So thanks for watching. Again, if you have any interest, check out the brand Avanti. It's all about moving forward, crushing the ceilings you have on yourself, and the walls that are in front of you. And yeah, just don't give up. Keep chasing whatever you're chasing. One of the slogans is we're all chasing it. Whatever your it is, like everyone's going for something. Everybody's working towards something all the time, and it could be anything. It doesn't have to be work related. It could be anything. Headspace, whatever. So check it out if you want. avnti.co. It's in the description. If you like the nose strips, that's also in the description. You get like 15% off a sample day. These are the best if you have a deviated septum. I don't know how you live without it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Little rally off that 15-minute gap. We'll see you. See you tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah, see you tomorrow. All right, later.